What's going on, guys? Bonafide Hustler here. Going to show you guys some finds today, and I am on two avenues. So I'm on YouTube and on Facebook Live. Check me out, the Bonafide Hustler on Facebook. You can watch the exact same live stream right there. But anyways, today I'm going to show you guys what I found this past weekend. Should be a lot of fun. Plus, I'll leave a little bit of time at the end for some Q&A. So if you're watching from Facebook or watching from YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button. Very important. And let's get right to it. So one of the first things that I found, I'm going to get this out of the way now because this tablet that I have is super annoying. Like, I got it for free like a long time ago for a really dumb trade that I did through Craigslist. But let me just show you the first find because it's actually in E-Money's garage, my brother's garage. And he decided to keep it, although it's one of those items that we bought it for such a good price, could use it for probably 5-10 years, whatever you want to use it for, and still flip it for more money. So it's a really good hustle, and it'll keep the fat off the human body. So what is it? It was a bike. We picked up a bike about 30 minutes into the golden hour, about 8:30 in the morning, last Saturday at a garage sale. And it looks like this. In fact, it looks exactly like this one right here. It's an Electra 3-speed cruiser. Now, the price of this bike new, if you were to buy it somewhere else, is probably around $539 to $579. We picked it up for 75 bucks in very, very, very good condition. So that was a good one. So what's going on to the people in the feed, by the way? If you are watching live on Facebook or on YouTube, there is a feed. What's up, Joshua Davidson? So yeah, that was the first score of the morning right there, or one of the first scores. And you'll see it on a ride-along video. I still have to edit the video and everything. So that bike was pretty awesome. E-Money's girlfriend decided that she kind of wanted it. Let me go into the feed here of YouTube. Say what's up to some people. Swamp Picker, what's up? 8K2 Red, Jamie Streck, Zeus Helms. It's good to see everyone. What's up, Amber Nelson? Yeah, so yeah, we got 33 people watching right now. Like I said, hit the like button on Facebook or on YouTube if you're watching this. I'll show you guys. It's not a terrible amount of stuff that we found, but it's some really cool stuff. So if you guys are noticing that actually, you know what? I want to save that for one of the last things because there's a really, really good find that I found for $5 that I could sell within 2 seconds for about 50 or more. So I'll show you that at the end. So let's just see what I found throughout the day. Went to a neighborhood-wide garage sale, and those are basically garage sales where the entire neighborhood, just sells their stuff. So I also had to get out of the field at around 10 o'clock because I had some obligations I needed to tend to. So I was only really garage selling from 7:45 to 8 o'clock. Actually, 7:30 to 10 o'clock. So 2.5 hours, and this is what we found. I could have stayed out there for longer. I could have, but I needed to do some things. So one of the first things I found, this is really good for the antique booth. You could also pretty much put this on eBay too. Probably get 15 bucks on eBay. But in the booth, I could probably get closer to 18 or 20 for this thing. It's a simple Hawaii trucker hat, so nothing crazy, okay? There you go. Pretty awesome. Simple Hawaii trucker hat. I think the light on the Facebook video is like really crazy right now. So there it is. And you guys can see it right there. So nothing, I always pick this stuff up. When it comes to my booth and I look back at all the things that sold in 2016, trucker hats were at one of the top categories, plus, vintage t-shirts, cowboy boots, storefront letters. That was a pretty big one. Jackets, flannel shirts, pearl snap shirts, just stuff like that. So, these are, I would say, bread and butter type items. And none of these things are like super home runs, but they're the kind of items that pay your rent. They pay the bills of the booth. So there you go right there. I have to always pick it up when I see them. All right. Now, while we're on the subject of trucker hats, I'm going to show you something that I didn't find this weekend, but my wife is going to let go of it. And she was like, well, just donate it. I'm like, wait a minute. So if you watched my vlog videos, I want to say it's vlog number 1 or 2. We go to the ACL Music Festival. All right. And this is an actual ACL Music Festival hat. Now you might be thinking, don't you have on an ACL Music Festival hat, Bonafide? And the answer is yes. But these are made by 2 different companies, okay? The company that makes this one is, they make some pretty expensive goods. I bought this hat for like 30 bucks. I think I could confidently probably sell this thing for somewhere around 50 to 80 bucks because it is pretty rare. Like, you don't see this very often. But this one right here was made by a company called Howler Brothers, and this one's made by a company called Aviator Nation. It has AV. And on the side of it, you might be able to see it right around here somewhere. There should be a little AV kind of thing. I think it's around there. Anyway, it's around one of these little sides. So Aviator Nation is known for their little rainbow splash. Howler Brothers is known for just simplicity and really cool outdoors wear kind of stuff. Flannels, cool pants, shorts. But they did get contracted from the ACL Music Festival, which is kind of like Coachella, to do a line of hats and merchandise. So anyway, This is the ACO, official hat right here. It's been worn maybe like, half a day. And I'm gonna try to see if I can get 30 to 50 bucks for this thing on eBay. All right. So there it is. Pretty nice looking hat. All right, what else? So I went to a garage sale in one of the very first garage sales in the morning. Before we got to the neighborhood was a garage sale where there was a bike, there was like a bob stroller and a bunch of stuff with the bike. And the bike wasn't the greatest frame, but had some pretty good components. I passed on it. The bob stroller, which if you guys watch my previous way in the back, way in the back of time videos, I love hustling bob strollers. But the market since has eroded a little bit because of the advent of Amazon and all these other places going online and really undercutting each other. So, there were some days where I could get $300 to $350 for a bob stroller in really good condition, but those days are kind of over. Like now the market's somewhere around $200 to maybe $250. So there was one over there at the garage sale for $175. Probably could have talked it down, but it was also opening day of the morning. And I really don't want to, put 200 bucks forward just to make like 50 bucks. Like, it's just, I don't know. It was a very unsure kind of thing. So I was like, it's probably going to sell for 200. I really didn't want to like go through with that kind of hustle. I like finding bob strollers for closer to 100 bucks. And they're pretty quick flips, but they take a little bit longer now because a lot of people have them. So, the source of bob strollers out there, you can find them from like all these places now. Whereas 5 years ago, 8 years ago, when I was really crushing the market, it was a little bit harder to find bob strollers in town for a really good deal. But now, with the internet going so crazy, it's pretty easy to get a good deal wherever you look. So anyway, I went to that garage sale, tons of bike parts in a bin, right? So if you see bike parts in a bin, you should be looking for a couple things. And one of those things is carbon. Carbon, anything, that's kind of a good thing to start looking out for. So here we have a carbon cage, nothing crazy. I could probably sell this for about $18 or so. He basically threw it into the deal. I ended up spending 30 bucks from stuff I found inside the bin. Okay, so this is one of the things I got. Nothing crazy, but I could probably sell it for about 18 bucks. It's extremely light. It's meant for competitive road cycling, that kind of stuff. So carbon cage right here. What else we got here? These were the other things I found in the bin. Now, hopefully you guys can hear me. I didn't even ask you guys if you can hear me or not. Hopefully you can hear me. And Illinois Picker says, we are live from the gym. That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, this is actually in my garage. So this is half of my garage. I converted it into a gym. It's pretty cool. So, and check out my other channel on YouTube called Bod Damn. I think by now everyone knows what that is, but go check it out, BODDAMN. So anyway, this is one of the things I found right there. A Cat-Eye Strata wireless kind of cycling computer with the part that goes on the wheel, which is right here, right? So that was okay. That was a kind of a throw-in kind of thing. I'll mount this on a bike. Shows your, I think this might show cadence. I'm not 100% certain, but it is wireless, and it will show, how far you've traveled, the average speed, all that kind of stuff. It's a pretty neat thing to have thrown into the deal. But that wasn't the reason why I pulled the trigger on the stuff in there. Carbon cranks, very important. This is a road cycling crank set. This is a Trovative roller. So I'm thinking probably with this, with the rings, right? I'm thinking somewhere around 60 to about maybe 110 or so. So for these things, 60 to 110. I paid 10 bucks for this. Not bad. And it's pretty light for the most part. But the real winner was this thing. And I spent 20 on this. So it is missing the middle chainring, but I don't think that really matters in this point. This is a SRAM red crank with the big ring right here, which is a 53 tooth. So now this is the real winner right there. That was 20 bucks, and it's in really good condition for the most part. Some scuffs, but nothing crazy. So this will be going up on eBay pretty soon. Carbon cranks, SRAM red is really, really good stuff. I mean, anybody that's a cyclist will know that SRAM red for 20 bucks is pretty much a steal when it comes to derailleurs, the cranks, the brake, the shifter pods, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty good stuff. So that was the big winner right there. I could probably sell this for over 100 or so. We'll see where the market shakes out on this, but it is SRAM red. So this brand new, I think the cranks are somewhere in the $300 to $500 range. So, pretty nice. Okay. Went to another, in the neighborhood white garage sale. We popped on this Scrabble board for $4 bucks. Okay. And is the light really bright? I'm sorry, guys, on Facebook. I'm going to try to help you guys out somehow, but I don't know how to do it. So I know it's super bright. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. No. Okay, well, I'll have to figure that out later. So one of the things I got was the Scrabble board, okay? And you might be thinking like, okay, it's not like a Franklin Mint one. It's not the really expensive one with the gold tiles. What's so special about this one? Well, this one is a 1989 Scrabble board. And what's really interesting about this one is the fact that it rotates. So it's a rotating Scrabble board. It's not one of those ones that look like, you know, you're unfolding a game of Risk or something like that. This one actually rotates. The tiles are actually made out of really nice hard wood, and it has recessed like letter pieces, right? Or should I say a recessed grid, meaning when you put your letters down on the grid, they don't move around. So that's pretty cool. This will probably sell for between 40 and 60 bucks. I picked it up for 4. The box is in terrific condition. It is from 1989. Talk about a true survivor right there, right? Pretty nice stuff. So, all right, those turntables, someone's saying here in Facebook, sorry, in YouTube, see if I can expand this comment here. Those turntable boards are great. So there you go. Joshua David says, I don't know. Joshua Davidson in YouTube says, I don't know about cash. I don't know anything about bikes, but I know that brand SRAM is cash money. It is, but SRAM Red is really what you want to start looking for. Yeah, so this is a really good board. Look at the back of this, by the way. All right, if you didn't think it was like, oh, okay, what era does this come from? Look at the picture right here. Now look at that, right? That picture is just screaming tea time 1980s, right? Oh, man. I thought the picture was pretty cool. All right, so it's complete. Everything's in there. Pretty nice. All right, let's get to something really interesting. Now, I don't know if you can see this stuff. Let me take the small one up there. So these are actually toy cannons, and they actually do fire, okay? We bought 4 of them for 85 bucks. So this is the smallest of the 4. It's missing a firing pin, but it is cast iron. This one's pure cast iron. Some of the other ones I want to show you here in a second are cast iron with pressed steel, which it's important to kind of notice that nothing these days is really made out of cast iron, especially toys or kids' toys, or even young adult type of toys. So pressed steel, if you want to kind of like think, what the hell does that mean? More like erector sets, right? That's kind of like pressed steel. If you want cast iron, you're talking about those old type of banks that used to move the penny over and deposit it, those really heavy type rectangular banks. Well, this is pretty heavy right here. If I was to throw this in a lake, it would sink to the bottom really quickly, okay? So this is pretty heavy thing. And honestly, if you're going to be building a cannon or a toy cannon, you really don't want the thing to be able to expand very much. So that's the reason why this is also cast iron as well. And when these pop off, they might wake up your neighbors because they're pretty crazy sounding, apparently. So I'm going to show you this. This is the smallest one right here. It is missing the firing pin, which I will disclose. I will make a lot for this, and the brands that you want to look for is Big Bang, and I want to say Bang Sight or something like that. So take a look at that. Toy cannons, you know, cast iron. Look it up on eBay, and you'll start seeing some pretty crazy prices for these things sold. All right, so that's that one. I got another one of those, and this kind of shows you the firing pin and all that kind of stuff that was missing on the other ones. So here we go, right there. Little toy cannon, cast iron, really neat. Now the question is, you know, how much can you think you can get for that kind of stuff? Some of these are selling for 80 to 120, these little ones on eBay. So remember, we spent $85 on everything. All right, so you guys can hear I hope you guys can hear everything I'm talking about. I want to make sure that I routed the sound the correct way. All right, hold on real quick. Okay, can you guys hear me better now? Because I switched the sound a little bit differently. Okay, so on YouTube, let me know if you can hear me. We got 71 people watching. Here is the middle grade one that I found, right? This was, well, I didn't find it, but it was on a table, and we decided to pop on all 4 of them. So here we have the firing pin. I think this one's missing the adjustment screw, but those are none of the, you know, those are none of the things that should scare you, right? Because the money is in the entire product. And if these little things are missing, the true collectors are going to find a way to have. They probably have it already. So apparently, now people in the feed probably know what the explosive type device that this thing uses. He told me it's water and something else, and it will pretty much wake up the neighbors. Like this one right here, he's like, yeah, your neighbors will probably come out with that one. But I have an even bigger one to show you in the back. So anyway, so that's what it looks like. This is pressed steel. I mean, sorry, this is what pressed steel kind of looks like right here. Much thinner, and pressed steel looks like kind of like that too. This is pressed steel, right there. And then the cast iron piece is right through the middle, the most important part that you don't want to expand. While the ignition and the charge goes off, you don't want this expanding. So this has to be really strong material. All right, pretty neat. So that was the middle one. And Bang Sight, yeah. So it's called Bang Sight. Is that's the other, I think, company that we have. We have a Big Bang, and we have, well, maybe it's Bang Sight. Okay, anyway, I don't know too much about this stuff, but I do know enough to flip it. So I'm gonna show you the bigger one now, okay? The big one's like a really crazy looking one. And also the, if you ever come across these things, you're like, man, like that's gonna be really tough to ship that. You can also pull this little pin right here, all right? And then you can bring the barrel out just like that, and then store it right there, however you wanna do it. But it makes it not as long, so your shipping charges don't become as crazy either. So let me get that back in there. I think I can, maybe I can't, who cares? All right, there it is, it's back in. All right, here's the big one, man. Here's the big cheddar right here. This is the big piece of cheese. This one's awesome. Look how big this thing is. All right, that's what she said. So this is another, it looks like Big Bang cannon, right? And do not look into the barrel when you fire, is what the thing says on the side here. I bet that's, I don't know if these are 1940s or 50s toys. Maybe they could be 60s, I don't know. But here we have the pressed steel. Now we have, you know, cast iron. This thing is really, really heavy. I mean, take a look at this. Stuff that you don't find all the time. But if you do find it, that would be awesome. He's like, this one, he told me that this one definitely wakes up the neighborhood when it goes off. So apparently when you do everything correctly and you put the stuff that needs to be in there, you know, you count about 5 seconds and you better run because, you know, it's a pretty loud pop. So this is a big one. Probably could get about 130 for this one, maybe more, something like that. So pretty cool. Thought that was a pretty good find. Remember, we paid 85 bucks for everything. The tactic here is I'm gonna actually lot it all up and throw it on the bay. So Big Bang cannons, real noise for the boys. Here's Bang Sight with a tube of Bang Sight. So yeah, bang, here we go. I guess this is what it is. There's Bang Sight right there, which this will not be going to eBay. But maybe this actual box might. I don't know if the box is worth any money, but that's, I guess, what it looked like back in the day. Pretty neat. I don't see any years or anything on here showing me what time when it was made or anything, but pretty interesting. You know, it's definitely a super old one. All these manuals are just looking like this, right? I mean, it's like way old. So thought it was really neat. Okay, so there's that. I think with everything, I'm gonna try to get, I don't know, 250 to 400 bucks, something like that. That's the kind of play I'm looking for. All right, when I was at another garage sale, I think these were $1 or $2, nothing crazy, but if you watch some of my other videos about a month ago, I talk about things to look out for, and one of the things to look out for is Mellow Johnny stuff. All right, it's a bike store in Austin that's owned by Lance Armstrong, and there's only one in the world, I think, right? It's here in Austin, Texas. So Giordana is the main contracted company that makes Mellow Johnny stuff. And these are Mellow Johnny's arm warmers that are size small. Could probably get somewhere in the vicinity of 20 to 30 for these. And the best part is they're a first class rate. So that's pretty good. Now Mellow Johnny stuff is pretty known for having a almost cursive type script with that mellow right there, right? The Johnny's is a normal kind of font. And then they always put a lot of stars and stuff on their stuff. So if you ever find Mellow Johnny's jerseys, you're likely going to find a star. And this exact script right here, where the Mellow is cursive, sort of, and the Johnny's is just a normal kind of thing. All right, so there we go. Pretty nice. And there's one last thing I wanted to show you guys, because you got to remember, I did get that bike. Getting that bike, I think E-Money is still going to decide whether he really, truly wants it. But if we are to sell that bike that we found at the beginning of the video, so rewind if you want to see the beginning, but the bike should be a $200 to $300 sell pretty easily. We scored it for 75 bucks. Okay, so the last thing I want to discuss with you guys before it goes to Q&A, all right? And if you like the video, especially on YouTube, hit the like button. I see 24 likes, 79 people watching. Come on, you guys can do better than that. And on Facebook, we have 11 people there. I want you all to hit the like button. Anybody that watches this non-live, hit the like button too. All right, so here's something that you guys want to, there's only one item out there that I think if you find it, not only, but in a garage sale sense, if you want to find an Amazon, rank #1 item, okay? I think it's #1 in office products. I think that's what it is, if I'm not mistaken. But this is not super common, but I seem to find about 2 or 3 of these a year. All right, so rank 1 item means one thing. It's going to sell super fast, okay? A rank 1 item also means extreme liquidity when it comes to your money, which is really good, right? It's just like playing the stock market and having all the eggs in, not all the eggs in one basket, but all your stars kind of line up really quickly. When you have a rank 1 item, I mean, you can decide whether you want 15% ROI, 20%, 30%, 100%. You can decide a lot of these things pretty quickly with a flick of a switch, type in what you want to get out at, and someone will buy the item because it's rank 1, right? There's so many of those things selling on Amazon at any given moment. So what is the rank 1 item I'm talking about? Who wants to take a guess? I think on Facebook, you guys see it in my hand, but what do you think it is? I'm going to tell you right now that it has to do with YouTube type stuff. What do you guys think it is? Take a guess. I think you guys already know because you probably saw it in my hand. All right. So this is my malfunctioning one. So I have one, but it's malfunctioning, and it's this one right here. I don't know why it's malfunctioning, but that sucks. I bought it for like, I don't know. This one I think was $5 at a pawn shop. Malfunction sucks. But the C920, the Logitech C920, that's what this is, okay? And I want you guys to really study the way this thing looks because it's really easy and discernible from any other webcam out there, all right? The C920. There you go. So it has a Carl Zeiss, 1080p, I guess, how do I say it, sensor or lens, right? Pretty nice. It is a rank 1. It is number 1. And you can find, if you find it, I found the one that is videoing me right now for $5 last weekend, and it works perfect. It seems to work perfect. If you guys like it, it sells. Amazon cuts you a check for minimum like $50, 50. So if you want to hold out maybe for another month or whatever, you could put it like $10 higher and maybe eke out $60. But think about that for a second. You buy something for $5. Send it into Amazon the day it hits. As long as you're in a competitive price range, you're probably going to sell it and make $45. Okay, that's really, really good return if you ask me. It's a rank 1 item, so it's been rank 1 for I think quite a long time. Like this is a really, really good camera. I think it has near 8,000 reviews at like almost 5 stars. So there it is. Yeah, I know a lot of people are paying 70 for them. I think when I first got into the game and I wanted one real bad, I think I spent 70 as well. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Check that out. If you go to Craigslist and you try to find this thing, a Logitech C920, sometimes people sell them for 40 or 30. So check it out. All right, check it out. You might be able to get one for like $20, and if you still sell it, and double your money, that's still great. So that's what it looks like right there. This is my malfunctioning one. I keep it around. I don't know why, because I think one day it's going to start working, but it probably won't. All right. So that is the big lesson for the day. I wish I had the bike here in the garage to show you guys, but I don't. I think we went through almost everything. eMoney might have a couple things. Maybe I forgot to show them here, but I'll leave it over to Q&A right now really quickly. So I'll get a couple questions from Facebook, and then I will I'll be what's it called? I'll be answering the questions right here in YouTube. So Barry Ware says they won't be cutting you a check when Logitech is restricted. Yeah, as of right now, like I'm not restricted on used. On new Logitech, most people are going to be restricted, but on used, most people are unrestricted, as I checked last Saturday, right? So when I do Logitech type flips and they're new, of course it goes to eBay, but used Logitech, I still think, if I'm not mistaken, it's still green light on FBA. Okay, Joshua David said, what is your number 1 flip you've ever done? I don't really brag about this very much, but I had like a near number 1 like the other day. Actually like 3 weeks, well, probably a month ago. I had a bike that I had bought from Craigslist for $250 and had sold locally for $900. So that was a pretty good one. It was a bike I wasn't using very much, but I knew it was like highly collectible. So I just kept it here, and I probably used it, I don't know, 15 times. It's been on a couple of my videos. It's called a Felt Chief. And yeah, I held out on eBay for like the longest time at like $1,100, and someone messaged me and they wanted to do a local kind of pickup kind of thing. So anyway, $900, that was pretty good. So, all right. Cody Orsak says, I just come home from ATX just in time to catch a little BH. J-Ron says, I found some phones ranked at number 8. Am I guessing it's a subcategory? It could be. Subcategories really suck, but usually for bigger things like Logitech stuff or Canon ELPH stuff or all these, and which might be restricted by now. I think most Canon and most Nikon, fair amount of Sony stuff is restricted, but still, you know, subcategories, those really suck. Like usually if you mess with really, how do I say it? More established type stuff that sells quickly, whether it be printers or whatever, you're going to be looking at primary categories. I don't think sub really comes into play at that point. So let me take a look at some more questions. Any more questions, let me know. Good as always. There are people in Facebook land saying what's up. And what's up, Fireside? Yeah, one of the things if I still had to get out of the field at 10 o'clock, which sucked last Saturday because there were like 3 neighborhood-wide garage sales that were going on. But I had plans that started at noon, so I had to be kind of ready for them, which removed me out of the field at 10 o'clock, which I wasn't super happy about, but at the same time, you know, this is life. Life happens, right? So I think I heard a squirrel in my attic. But anyway, so yeah, you know, this is the time of the year to really crush things. And I'm going to take it 1 second out of my time because I know you guys like bolos, and I know you guys want to pick up, and you guys should have on your phone by now the PDF that is down below on the first link from 100 amazing items to resell, which is going through a revamp right now. But see if you can go get it down, first link down below. Really, really good guide. And, you know, in the Northeast, like garage sale season is about to be in full swing. So, you know, populating your head and your mind with really, really good stuff is one of the keys to making big money in the game and making your time completely worth it on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, right? I've had great scores on Sundays too. But anyway, so that's that right there. Go check it out. It's the first link down below. You'll get a free download like immediately. Yeah, so here we go. Gerard Rodriguez says, how do you decide what goes to eBay and what goes to my little antique booth? Well, it just depends. Like things in the booth are generally sometimes larger, or items that would sell on eBay for like 20 bucks or so, right? And I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. I have a minimum type of profit that I'm looking for when I engage with eBay. So when it's like 20 or something like that, I don't want to mess with it. Like in 2017, my minimum like take home is I'm trying to get it like close to 30 bucks. Okay. Like minimum, like after everything's all said and done, like I'm making 30 bucks in profit. So that's my eBay. And if that means I bring, you know, however many items I have down to, you know, 20% less, I'll have to do it. But in my booth, it's a little bit different. In my booth, it's more like a storage facility in my sense that pays, right? Pays money. So I put things there that, you know, I put $1 things that can sell for 10 bucks. I put $5 things there that can sell for 20 bucks. I put $10 things there that can sell for 100 bucks. But some of the things there are either items that sell on eBay for some, you know, they just don't have the craziest market on eBay, but they're old and they're cool, like cowboy hats, corduroy cowboy hats, random stuff like that. It could be just random satin jackets that just have like not much market on eBay, but in a vintage kind of retro feel, they look pretty cool and people like it in Austin, Texas. So it could be something like that. Or it could be something extremely heavy and I don't want to engage with freight or big shipping charges, but I still want to buy it from a garage sale or estate sale and I don't want to leave it behind and still want to take a chance on a mid or a long tail item that is big and large. So that's a reason why the booth is there. I've considered for a second this year, I don't know, we'll see how this year goes, but I've considered actually shutting the booth down because it's just, you know, it takes time. It does take time, and to optimize it, it takes time. The people that do best in the mall are there all the time. Like I see them a lot. So, and they make good money. Like I think it's their primary income, honestly. So I want to work on some different things this year. And I'll see if I can, you know, commit maybe 2 to 4 hours a week into the booth. But I always have to be, you know, cognizant, like what can I make in that 2 to 4 hours? You should always be thinking these kind of things when you are allocating time to certain things like boxing up or shipping things or sourcing. Always got to be wondering, how much is traffic worth to you, right? If you're going to sit in traffic for 30 minutes in each direction, that's an hour completely wasted, in my opinion. So you got to start thinking in those kind of lines, like what is your life and your time worth? So anyway, we'll see. Michael Sampson says, what does a booth cost to rent? It just varies. I've seen people's booths that are as cheap as like 40 bucks a month in various parts of the USA. And I've seen booths that are in my antique mall, there are booths that are $350 a month, right? So I'll just tell you right now that I shake out somewhere in the middle, right? But there is booth rent and there's typically commission that they take too when someone takes the item to the front where it gets processed, sometimes wrapped in tissue paper or whatever, like that is a 10% fee as well. So Rebecca Freeman says, I like your shirt. Thank you. Aaron Atkins says, I haven't seen your videos in a while. Good to see you're still doing this, BH. Yeah, still doing it. One of the things I am cracking into this year, you know, and it's on the verge of getting done, but not getting done, but on the verge of the next step is a private label activewear brand. So if you pay attention to my workout channel, you're going to start seeing a lot more content going up there this week. It's going to start this week. So there's going to be some good stuff. And there's going to be a private label clothing brand behind that entire operation. So, you know, when you embark on new things or you try new things, something else has to give, right? And that was one of the reasons why I was thinking maybe that's the antique booth. I don't know, you know, I don't want to, but if something's performing subpar, it just makes no sense, right? So anyway, Sean J says, starting off, you know, your time at what your time is worth later, once you're making good income, this is great. I think you have the freedom to choose, which is true. You have the freedom to choose which lines to let go of or to maximize, to optimize, or even what lines of income you want to take on, whether it be merch by Amazon, you want to take your 100 designs up to 500 because you just got unlocked for 250 or 500 or whatever, you know, so that takes time to put designs up and stuff. So, you know, there's a million different ways to make money digitally, right? Or semi-passively out there. But you don't have a million minutes in a day, right? You don't have a million, you know, hands and legs to go around and do everything. There's not a million of you. There's one of you, and you have to still get 6 to 8 hours of sleep at night. So really, what you're left with is something like 16 or 18 hours maybe to work. And if you have some sort of a life, then maybe you have 9 or 10 hours a day to work, right? So you kind of see what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, time is of the essence. Once you start whittling it down, you start realizing, like, man, time is super valuable. What do we got here? 10K on the Bay, what's up? Yeah, 10K on the Bay has it like pinned just perfect. Like too many opportunities is a real issue, but that also shows you how fast, you know, the digital lifestyle and all that kind of stuff is really playing out. We are, you know, in the midst of probably one of the best shifts ever when it comes to making money, where people are like, yeah, you know, go work 25 years with a company and get a pension and all this kind of stuff. Like those days are kind of over. And so, you know, the days of digital this or digital that, or making something of yourself with very limited marketing potential, you know, very limited marketing costs, meaning you do your own YouTube videos, you manage your own Instagram accounts, all that kind of stuff. You know, the days of making it and still living your dream are so maximized right now that I really think it's almost like a sin if you don't try, right? Something that you're really good at, that you're very passionate about, I guarantee you, in the digital space, in the vlogging space, in the make your own product space, that the time is now. Like, you got to do it. So anyway, think about that kind of stuff. So that's where, you know, I've come to the conscious realization in the past 3 years, or now, up to now, that it's the time. It's a really good time to do it. And I have enough confidence on YouTube in front of the camera to where I can do it. And I think it's fair enough to say that I think I know what I'm doing with fitness as well. So may as well go the fitness direction as well as the flipping direction. So Cody Orsak, how late will you stay? How late will you garage sale a typical Friday or Saturday? Great question. The latest I've ever stayed out in the field usually has been like 11:30, but typically I call it quits somewhere around the 10:30 to 10:45 mark. That right about that time is where I feel good. And you know, I don't want to just sit there from 7 to freaking noon just garage selling all day. I just don't want to do that. So I want to actually, you know, have tacos with my brother and wind down and that kind of stuff, you know. So what else do we got here? Another question. Am I testing with other online platforms like Etsy, Grail.com, Collect.in? The only thing I'm testing with right now that that I know I'm going to go into this year will be a Shopify store, but it will be a Shopify store built with my own products inside, not outsourced products. So I will actually have physical inventory, more than likely at my house, and the Shopify store will notify me, or the purchase app, whatever, will notify me when and where to ship something, and I'll have to do it out of here. Primary marketing vehicle will be probably YouTube and Instagram, and the brand is already created. In fact, the website's already paid for, like all that kind of stuff is ready. I just need to make my orders, and I need to do my trademark kind of stuff as well. So it's a long process, you know, but you really have passion in something, you shouldn't just go as fast as possible. If you have true passion in something, you got to take time. So anyway, what else we got here? Any questions? Do I do merch? I do have a couple. I do have, how many designs do I have on merch? Not very many. I think it's like sub 15. I have some merch designs. Some do a little bit of, you know, business, but not a whole lot. I haven't been heavily invested into merch, although I still am getting billed by Illustrator, $20 a month. So I think soon I'll get back into it. But I think merch, if I'm not mistaken, is yanking down. They're yanking down designs that don't sell within 90 days, if I'm not mistaken, 90 days. So, merch is a game that is majority, as I understand, text-based and majority based on trends, right? If you can spot trends, and if you can jump on trends, if you can be the first to certain things, think political, high school prom, spring break shirts. I mean, you gotta start thinking on those lines, like what's seasonal, political. And so those are the kind of things you can make a design really quickly, right? In Illustrator, I mean, I was able to make designs like within a minute and a half, sometimes 2 minutes, real quick text-based stuff. Uploading it takes another probably 5 minutes or so, getting the keywords right, the description, and all that kind of stuff. And then it gets its best shot. But if it doesn't sell in 90 days, as I understand 90 days, I think they corrected it from 60 days recently. But if it doesn't sell in 90 days, they just yank it down. So, you could be spinning your wheels a little bit on some of that stuff, but it seems to be a pretty decent income stream. I have, friends that are making good money with it. It's a really good income stream if you're thinking more on the passive, it's not true passive income, because you have to make the work the first time and sometimes over and over, because, designs come and go and markets go up and down. But it's a really neat kind of stay-at-home kind of thing, a true stay-at-home kind of business, with very, very limited barriers to entry and not super hard to understand. So definitely it's one of those things that has piqued my interest this year. But going back to what I've talked about, there's only so much time in a day. There's only so much time in a day. In the end, do I want to have a massive merch account and feel, and put that on my legacy and go like, well, I had a massive merch account, I made a lot of money, or do I want to, leave behind something else? And for me, I want to have the something else thing. That's just me. So anyway, that's just the way, I go for the more happiness route, the more passion route, and that's just the way I like to operate my life. I know other people love this other route, where it's just take a computer to Starbucks or anywhere else in the world and just make merch designs. And I think it's a fantastic way to make money, but I think you have to really find out what makes you tick inside, and you really go after that in life. So no matter what that is. Ochero Wicked says you should do a Doppio and Taco Bar shirt. I'm thinking about a lot of things. So I might get into that. I don't know. Do I have a bona fide Instagram, Joshua? This is a really good question. I've thought about doing one, but it also takes time to get all this stuff right. I've thought about doing a bona fide Instagram, maybe to almost create my own sales avenue. But I was thinking, like, if I do one, then I would just sell whatever's on the bona fide Instagram at maybe 75% of what I'm asking on eBay. So if I'm asking $100 on eBay for something, on the bona fide Instagram, I was thinking, like, just put it for $75 with free shipping. But then again, I don't know if I want to get into that as well. I already have the Instagram for the other workout stuff. And, the workout stuff really needs a really big push. It needs a lot of commitment. And so until I really see the end of that road, it's not smart for me to open up any other doors for anything else just now. But I still am very active in the Green Room University, that. I'm still trying to make videos here and ride along videos. Those are definitely in the queue. They're in my hard drive waiting to be edited. But time is money, guys. Time is money. So, if you are doing 10 eBay listings today or 20 today, or whatever, and then you're like, man, but I really want to be something better, bigger in 5 years, but tomorrow you do 10 eBay listings again, or 20, you can safely assume that in 5 years, you're probably still going to be an eBay seller, which could be a good thing or not a good thing, but you'll be an eBay seller with, profit, and you'll be selling things, but you'll still have to be sourcing, you'll still have to be taking pictures and all that kind of stuff. I think a lot of people don't align their actions with what they want. So I like having an eBay store. I like having an eBay business, but I don't have usually any more than 120 to 150 items in there at any given time. I like having the antique booth, but I might have to close it. Well, I don't know yet. We'll see. Depends on how many hours I can give it into a week to really try to maximize it for what it can deliver out. I do have an Amazon FBA business, but I usually don't have any more than 250 to 300 items in that. And then what else do I have going on? Oh yeah, and of course my time's going into the green room. So, for me to insert a solid 3 to 5 hours of workout stuff in footage and editing every day until this other thing takes off takes time, right? It takes time. Time is money. So that is what it is. Hopefully you guys will check out the workout channel. This wasn't a broadcast to tell you anything about the green room or the workout channel, but I will tell you about the green room. It's an amazing place to be. 864 active members right now. Go check it out. Second link down below. If you want to check out my workout channel, it's called Bod Damn. It's a play on words, and you can check it out on eBay. You can check it out on YouTube. It's there right now. It might have 900 subscribers, maybe 1,000. I don't even know right now, because I kind of turned my back on that project for several months, but I'm about to turn my back right around and, face forward and be there. So Team Tycoon says, we've been selling on eBay for over a year now. How did you know when to start a YouTube channel for eBay? You just got to start. Right now, YouTube is amazing. Like, I don't see anything in the foreseeable future that will shut YouTube down, but I see I see a lot more people jumping into YouTube now, seeing it as an opportunity to connect with an audience, right? The best thing about YouTube is it's raw, it's uncut, and for the most part, it's unedited and not governed by FCC for the most part. I mean, it's pretty much anything goes. So you can become a hero, or you can be any kind of star that you want on YouTube with a fair amount of upload scheduling and work and all that kind of stuff. Everything takes work, okay? No one's going to become an instant star on YouTube. It ain't going to happen, right? But you have to, especially if you're a reseller. Like, it's just the reselling genre, like, it's tough to become like A1 really quickly. You usually have to put in pretty decent amount of work. Now, if you are a person that does like, reaction videos or pranks or something like that, you could have 20 videos and have 1 million subscribers. Like, it's that fast for certain things like that. But for reselling videos or resellers, it's a much harder thing to get a pretty big following. And my following is not big at all, but I think it's doing pretty well because it's opened up a lot of doors to other things, whether it be digital goods or the green room for us. I mean, it's an important thing. You can ask Break and Profit the exact same question. Would you ever go back and do something different with YouTube? He would say no, right? So YouTube is one of those things where if you want to become something and you want to do it organically, when's the time to do it? It's right now. If you haven't started, you should start, because video is the most raw and best thing. That plus captioning, like, seems to be the future right now. Short video plus captioning seems to be in. So anyway, Thriller Gorilla Picker says, Bonafide, what equipment do I use to make YouTube vids? You probably can't see, but this laptop right here is on a Samsung LTS50 stand. It's a laptop stand I am filming with today, a Logitech C920 camera. I also have this. I will kind of show you guys, but the cell phone is on one of these things, right, with all these arms and stuff. So that's that, and that is an iPhone 7 256 gig. And I also film a lot of the vlog videos with a Canon G7X PowerShot, I want to say, or no, yeah, Canon G7X. It's not the Mark II edition, it's the Mark I. I like it a lot. And I have a bunch of other cameras as well. I have GoPros, I have drones, but like most of the stuff's done with a Canon G7X or the iPhone, or a lot of the live shows will be done through a Logitech webcam like you see right here. So that's that. Pinching Pesos is in the house. What's up, Deborah? Yeah, go into YouTube. She's saying about something about YouTube. Most people are going to YouTube trying to make money. That's not the right way to do it. Go to YouTube to help. Like, that's the most important thing, right? Go to YouTube to connect with people that need some teaching or they need direction. So that's the primary reason why I started YouTube, was to like help the sales of a book, but at the same time, really help people like learn that this is an amazing avenue to do on a side kind of hustle. Because then when I started my YouTube channel back then, I had a full-time job. So I thought it was like an amazing loophole in society. I was like, holy crap, like, I need to tell more people about this. So, and I got here, and there were not very many pickers on the scene, maybe like 20 at best. But I could confidently say, I think there's probably like 100 or 150 now that are like consistently uploading stuff. So the genre of people that are in YouTube or resellers has definitely increased right now. Yeah, and the equipment, definitely 10K on the base, saying like, what, there's some questions about what equipment should I get, whatever. Like, the equipment doesn't matter. What matters is the drive, and if you start and maintain, that's all that matters. Because when you start and maintain, it tells you a couple things. One is it realistic? Is it sustainable? Can you even do it? And then when you maintain, you get all these comments coming through the feed, which is really important too. It tells you the direction your channel kind of needs to go. Right? You can figure out through analytics which videos do best. And so you have to have started and maintained to even get that data. So Very important. You can start with just a cell phone. Like, just don't go out and buy cameras and all that. Just start with your cell phone camera. And if I can give any amount of advice, like, put yourself into the video. Like, people that are like hovering over their finds and like you don't even see the person that's talking, that's not good. Like, I don't like watching those kind of videos at all. Like, but if someone is an animated type personality, or confident or whatever, and it's either edited or not even edited at all, single shot kind of thing, I like watching those. If I can see the person that I know is talking, like, that's already a big plus. So think about that. JJ Marley, the RVCA goes hard. That's right, man. Maybe my clothing brand will be as successful as this one day. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? So I think that's pretty much it. Let me think if I got, here's a really good question. Kenneth Gardner says, if you bought something to resell, but you see it keeps going up in value, would you hold on to it? Would you hold on to it for a while? So case in point, like, I bought something, let's think. I have a couple of things here that go up in value. Some of the things I've gotten for free from friends, other things I've bought at full price knowing that it would go up in value. One of the things I was thinking about getting into tomorrow, or maybe even today, is a bicycle, right? A bicycle that's online. It's a 2017 edition of a retro BMX, kind of like a reissue, right? Thought about getting into it. It's about 480 bucks. I can confidently see that thing probably selling between $800 and $1,000 within a year. Like, but that's one of those things I could still ride it around, have fun, and all that kind of stuff. But I'd still have to shop 480 bucks right now. There are other things out there, maybe the NES Classic that you could, buy for 60 bucks or 80 bucks, whatever it is, and then, hold on to it for many years. And it could be almost like a play on a stock. As long as you don't open it up or anything like that, you keep it in a really nice, cool, dry place. These things can be investment grade kind of things, but you have to start thinking on those kind of lines. Usually investment grade kind of things, you have to be very, very careful about assembling them or, building them. With the bikes, I just have to ride them. Like, I have a lot of cool bikes, so I have to ride them. I just like riding it. But for other things, I might get into an investment grade bicycle soon that I put the link in the green room today, and I'm going to keep it in the box. I'm just going to throw it in the attic, but could probably sell for 1,000, maybe 15, 800 to 1,000 bucks, maybe in a year. And it's about 350 if you can be lucky enough to snipe one. So we will see. Let me think. Here's a question. One more question here. So how do I? So someone's saying, so you mean record a video with an iPhone? Yes. Record a video with anything that you have. If you want to start YouTube, just record with an iPhone, do a single shot, maybe have a little, I like to take a piece of tape and a piece of paper, put it right under the camera, and I know the bullet points that I want to go over on certain videos where I know that the actual value proposition needs to be really hard, right? So if you take a look at some of my previous videos, a lot of those you didn't get to see behind the scenes, but there's a piece of paper that, especially on all my workout videos, there's always a piece of paper kind of like outlining which direction to go. So that's important, okay? I still do edit my videos behind the scenes, but some of the first YouTube ones that I've done were never edited, and it was just enough to get traction and to get to maintain some sort of, upload schedule so I could see the analytics months later, and the analytics with the comments and the views told me which direction to go. Because of a subscriber's comment, I started doing ride-along videos, actually. People didn't want to just see the hauls like this. They were like, I want to see you in the field, like driving around. So that came from a subscriber's comment. So that's a classic example of how YouTube will help you out, but you have to start. So Ross Bracken is saying, so YouTube is a no-brainer. Whatever you're doing, get on board. Yeah, so, doing 75 to 100 on eBay, not bad, growing, stop your antique booth. Yeah, just do anything you want to on eBay. I mean, on YouTube. Doesn't matter what your business model is, whatever. Just make videos. Like, it's a perfect way, to get a good following, to meet a lot of great people, and maybe build some alliances that could lead to something bigger later on. So there you go. That's what I would do. And that's what I did do. So, all right. So JJ Marley says, remember to click the subscribe bell and become a subscriber. So that's on anybody's YouTube video out there, whether you're on 10K on the Bay or any YouTube channel out there. If you like the content, you want to get notified anytime a live video comes, there's a bell next to the subscribe button, all right? And if you hit the bell, you get notified on, your favorite YouTubers going live, which seems like now a lot of resellers are going live. In the mainstream YouTube space, I've seen an increase of it as well. So think about that. And I think that's pretty much it. That is the video. I got to get out of here. I got to do some cardio, eat some food. But it was nice to see you guys on Facebook. Let me clip you guys out of here. And for you guys out there on YouTube land, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to hit the like button real quick. And I hope you guys learned some stuff from, whoops. I hope you guys learned some stuff from this, okay haul. I kind of wish I had the bike here to show you guys, but I didn't. But anyways, hope you guys got some good information and I answered some of your questions. And hit the like button. I'll see you guys on the next Bonafide Hustler video. Take it easy. Goodbye.